I still can't believe you agreed to this, I complain as the car drifts in the ice again. Heavy snow lasts well into March around here. I would rather be studying in the warmth of our dorms. Plus, we could take a drive in our university town and the roads would be ice-free. Car wouldn't be fishtailing every few minutes. Adam was invited to his friend's family home for somebody's birthday. I don't know why he didn't politely decline. He barely knows this friend. A friend who's a sexist piece of scum from what I could tell when I briefly met him last year. But that's Adam. He hates to disappoint people. It's one of the things I love about him, even if it's really annoying sometimes. I breathe a sigh of relief when we safely reach our destination, but my contentment doesn't last long. The house is a secluded, almost mansion. It looms over us, looking harsh and unwelcoming. We don't belong here. Adam rings the bell. I force a fake smile when the door opens. "Buddy, you made it." Max Kensington greets us more loudly than necessary, pulling Adam into a hug. He ignores me and steps aside so we can drag our luggage indoors. The interior gives the impression of affluence trying too hard to be humble. Much of the furniture is rustic, but reeks of old money. The taxidermy on the walls doesn't endear me to Max's family. I hate trophy hunting. Max makes the introductions. "Adam, this is Trip. Adam, Trip. Trip, Adam." The men shake hands while Max continues to blank me. "This is my girlfriend, Diane," Adam says, gesturing toward me. "Hi," Trip mumbles, throwing me a brief smile before turning away. Max doesn't even glance in my direction. "You're here!" squeals a female voice. A petite brunette bounds into the hall like an excitable dog. "You must be Adam and Diane," I add. "I'm Florence, Max and Trip's cousin, but please, call me Flo." On the surface, Flo seems friendlier than her cousins, but there's something abrupt in her manner. The boys were talking about finding some wild foliage for decoration. "Why don't you two go with them?" Flo suggests. Somehow I can't imagine Max delicately picking out foliage. "Sounds good," Adam agrees. I shoot him a look and suppress a sigh. It was a long drive. I thought we'd be offered a warm drink and given time to refresh in our room before being rushed off into the wilderness. "Well, there is no time like the present. Off you trot," Flo commands. "Shouldn't we take our cases upstairs first?" I suggest, a pleading note in my voice. "Oh no, there's no point in that." "We could leave in an hour or two," Trip says. I flash him a grateful smile, but Flo immediately crushes the idea, somehow shooing us out the door despite her small frame. "She's intense," Trip laughs when the door slams behind us. "Intense, rude," I mutter. Adam flashes me a look of disapproval. "She's just stressed because Grandpa's birthday is a big deal in our family, and there's still a lot to do," Trip explains. "How old is he?" 103 tomorrow, Max says proudly. "Wow, that's impressive," Adam replies. We climb into Max's Land Rover, which is thankfully better equipped for the icy conditions than Adam's car. The wheels wear chains for stability. The family are obviously used to this level of snow. Max drives for about 20 minutes before pulling over near snowy woodland. "What type of foliage are we looking for?" I ask. "Foliage?" Max replies. "For decorating." "Oh, any, I guess." "Helpful," I mutter. Adam laughs quietly. We get out of the car. I'm glad I put on boots this morning because the snow reaches my shins. The cold bites, and I long for gloves and a hat. There's a scarf in my suitcase, but of course Bossy Flo didn't let us unpack. What's that for? Adam asks. I follow his gaze to find Trip strapping a shotgun around his chest. I don't agree with hunting. Please don't kill animals in my presence, I tell him firmly. Max repeats my words in a mock childish voice. Relax, Trip laughs. It's only a precaution. I prefer to use this. He holds up an axe. It's for the foliage, Max says irritably. A roar pierces the landscape. It's unlike anything I've ever heard. What was that? Trip asks in alarm. Some animal, obviously, Max says dismissively. Adam replies, but I don't hear him over the ear-splitting screech that comes next. Maybe we should go back? I suggest. Yeah, Trip agrees. Don't be little girls, Max snaps. Let's just get the foliage and leave. We don't have to go far. The cousins hike on ahead, their footprints breaking virgin snow. Something seems off, I whisper to Adam. I'm sure it's fine, he replies. Max did warn me his family are a bit eccentric. And you still agreed to come? What about those noises? Keep up, ladies, Trip calls. They wait for us to catch up. Should we head toward the trees for foliage? I suggest, pointing at the dense area of cedar pines nearby. The cousins exchange a glance. Nah, Trip mutters, and then he slams the axe into Adam's stomach. My legs collapse under me. The world slows down. It doesn't feel real until the freezing snow against my bare hands snaps me back into reality. Trip reaches for his gun, but Adam pushes the barrel toward the ground. Max takes the axe from Trip. Run, die! Adam screams at me. Get to the trees! I hesitate. I hate the thought of leaving Adam, but my dad's face comes to mind. We lost my mom when I was little. He can't lose me as well. He's always taught me that fitness is the best form of survival. I realize how right he is as I race for the cover of the trees. It's incredibly tough work in the deep snow. My muscles feel like they're tearing to shreds, but my high fitness level gives me an ever-increasing lead on Max. I think I'm going to make it when something strikes my back. I'm thrown to the snow with the air knocked out of me. I roll onto my back. Max is no longer holding the axe. I can't see it amongst the snow, but he must have thrown it at me. No blood blemishes the snow around me, and I can't feel anything embedded in my back. It seems the handle struck me rather than the blade, but it makes little difference. I don't have time to recover. Max stands over me with malice flickering in his eyes. I scream for help, knowing there's nobody around to hear. A rock flies from the direction of the trees, striking Max in the face. He falls to the ground. I look behind. There's an animal in the tree line. I think it's a monkey at first. It stood on two legs like a human, but it's covered in orange fur. It's about my height, but it doesn't look like an adult of its species. There's something baby-faced about its features. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was an abominable snowman, a Sasquatch-type creature. Another one of similar height joins the first. A second rock is launched from its large hand. I turn round to see Trip approaching. Unfortunately, the rock misses. Max clambers to his feet. His face is a bloody mess. The right eye is gone, crushed into his skull. What the hell are those things? Trip yells. Shoot them! Max barks. I find myself on my feet before I know what I'm doing. I throw myself at the barrel of the gun, pushing it sideways as Trip attempts to fire at the creatures. The deafening blast is followed by a tremendous screech. The trees behind the snowmen sway in a way today's mild wind couldn't cause. Max runs back in the direction of the car, falling every few seconds. I see the butt of the gun a split second before it slams into my face. The snow is splattered with blood as I fall to the ground. I think the pain exploding from my mouth would have defeated me if not for one thing. I've landed beside the axe. Trip is too focused on trying to aim at the creatures as they dart behind the nearest tree to see me coming. I bury the axe in his neck. He collapses to his knees before face-planting the snow. I'm struggling to remove the axe from his neck when a winged creature, almost as tall as the trees, bursts out from the forest. It opens its long beak to let out a deafening screech. Its skin is black, stretched taut and shiny, kind of resembling a beetle. The abominable snowmen are crouched behind a tree, trembling in fear. But the bird-like creature hasn't seen them. Its beady eyes are focused on Max. I protect my face with my arms as it stretches out its ginormous wings. It doesn't fly, perhaps it's flightless, but it runs at an incredible speed, catching Max within seconds. It snatches him off the ground with its beak before tossing him away, sending him catapulting into the trees. His screams are silenced by a dull thump. I doubt he could survive a fall from that height, especially at such velocity. The bird dives toward me. I throw myself flat into the snow. I hear my clothing rip and a searing pain tears down my back, but I'm not lifted from the ground. I shuffle back to Trip's body and battle to free the gun that's still strapped around his torso. It's impossible until 4 large hands lift his corpse, the snowman. The bird launches itself toward us, but a 3rd snowman leaps out from the trees and catches the bird's legs. This one really is Bigfoot. It's almost as large as the bird. Its fur is matted with blood, and it's clearly injured, but the ferocity in its eyes reminds me of the day my mom was killed. That's how she looked when those men approached us. It's the look of a mother who will stop at nothing to protect her young. Bigfoot swings the bird in circles and then throws it against the trees. Diane! I turn around at the sound of my name. I recognize the voice, but it feels too good to be true. It's him. It's Adam. He's gesturing for me to run back to him, but the snowmen saved me from unspeakable cruelty at Max's hands. I'm not leaving them. The mother stumbles toward us. The smaller 2 run into her arms. One of them makes panicked noises as the bird reemerges from the trees. I raise the gun, but I don't know how to use it. Throw it to me, Adam yells. He's running toward us. We perform the perfect throw and catch. He points the weapon at the bird and fires. It takes several shots before it screams in pain and disappears into the trees. I hate seeing an animal killed, but it wouldn't have let us go. Maybe it will survive. I hope so, assuming it doesn't find the snowmen again. Adam reaches us. He holds me as I cry in relief. The axe wound to his stomach looks nasty, but not life-threatening if we get to a hospital. I thought you were dead, I sob. I think Trip did, too. He must have thought I was a goner after I passed out. Why were they trying to kill us? They probably wanted me out the way to get to you. I'm so sorry I brought you here. The large Sasquatch gently touches my shoulder. There's gratitude in her eyes. The younger ones hug me unsurely, seemingly copying the gesture from Adam. Then they wander back into the trees, hand in hand. Do you think they'll be okay? I ask. I've got a good feeling about them. These woods go deep. Maybe there's more of their kind out there, Adam replies. We have to walk back to the house because the car keys were in Max's pocket and goodness knows where he ended up. Luckily, Adam's keys are still in his pocket, so we can leave without attracting Flo's attention. I think she knew of her cousin's intentions. There are more cars outside when we get back. Adam lets the tires down with the axe so they can't follow us. We'll have to drive slowly because of the ice. People appear at the window in response to the sound of our car starting. They look alarmed, but we're gone before they can stop us. Our injuries are treated at the nearest hospital. The nurse perks up when we tell her what happened, omitting mention of the snowman and the bird. "It's weird," she says. "A local drunk down on his luck claimed he was attacked by that family about 5 years ago. It was around this time of year. He raved about how they wanted to cook him for their grandfather's birthday meal. Apparently, they said human meat has healing properties, and eating it every year is how the grandfather survived to such an old age. Of course, nobody believed him. There was no evidence, and he had a huge amount of alcohol in his system. And old Mr. Kensington is such a nice man. But it makes you wonder, doesn't it?"